Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to One Hub Racing Season 28, the final race of the evening. It's the pinnacle of One Hub Racing. It's a P1 tier. They take to the Suzuka circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix, and they have to endure some wet weather, just like we saw in 1994 with Damon Hill, where he won on Avagut. Who's going to do well today? We're going to have to wait and see. My name is Jess Ball, and joining me once again, we've got Jamie. How are you, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm very good. Look forward to this. Hopefully it should be a good one.
Yep, indeed, of course. You know how it is to race around here and win as well, and we both enjoyed the wet conditions, and the adaptive weather system has finally given us some rain. We had the rain dance, and it worked, people, so it's going to start off with very wet too. Like clouds, and we started a little bit late because P2 had some bit of issues with the game once again, so we are going to get going very shortly. But last week we went to Hungary and we saw Marco take the victory, his first victory since round one in Spain, and this track is another technical circuit. I wonder if Marco's going to suit it to a T, or will anybody else take the challenge to him and Kevin?
Yeah, look at them two at the moment, dominating at the moment. But there's a couple of guys behind that definitely can bring the fight to them, and hopefully we do see that. As yeah, it should be good on our track, which obviously overtaking is very difficult on this, so it's very crucial you get your qualifying right and you get a good slot.
Yes, so we've got 18 drivers, pretty much a full grid, because we're still, I think, got some spaces in P1. So if you are interested in signing up, please do, and we can get you signed up for a couple of weeks' time. This first Suzuka circuit was a test track back in 1962. Honda tested it quite a bit, and it was finally placed on the Formula 1 calendar in 1987. The quite difficult challenges of this circuit, elevation changes, very demanding track, especially as the drivers head downhill to the long first bend before travelling up through the S's, in particular in these really tough conditions. It's changed quite a lot over the past 30 years. Few modifications. A chicane was added in 1983, and there was additional safety barriers that were added, as you can see, to help with the safety barriers. And the Degler curve was also made into two corners instead of one long bend. 130R was reprofiled in 2002, and then there was just a switch between Fuji and Suzuka for the Japanese races, and now we go to Suzuka like we know and love, just like the real life drivers actually, but at least they can go flat out in the dry towards 130R. They can't do that in real life, can they? We got time set on at the board, and the time's going to get quicker and quicker. It definitely looks like it's intermediate conditions, doesn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the track's driving really fast. Yeah, and we may obviously maybe end. We may get slicks at the end. We'll wait and see. But yeah, it's definitely intense at the moment. And the first 4 or 5 minutes were on the full wets, and now that's coming in the laps. It's going to keep improving all the time. And we're going to get to the 1 minute 30s very soon. I think we're winning 1 minute 41s at the moment with Dave on our current pole position slot, but that timing screen is going to change massively over the next 10 minutes if you include the time after the double zeros. So yeah, expect that there'll be a lot of changes. So this grid is going to we might see a bit of a random grid tonight with the changeable conditions.
Yes, quite a few engine penalties and gearbox penalties for P1, but not the top guys, mainly. Actually, it could be the top guys, but I'll need to double check, because the last time I checked was during the talk show. But interestingly, Curry is on the set of the wets. Now, I was talking about this in P4, and I'm sure the other commentators did as well. The 4 wets on this game, absolutely useless, let's just say, in qualifying. There's no point. If you're experienced enough, especially these guys, just don't touch the 4 wets at all. Go on the inters during qualifying. You will regret it later if you don't. So we have 2 people on the 4 wets, and they're probably losing time because of it. As Callum on arm goes fastest at the moment with a 1:39.1. Kevin's going to go up to the line next. Let's see if the current Speedster Award champion is going to do a lap. No, he's not. It's a 1:40.6. So he's struggling a little bit in these wet conditions. Mert is going through towards Spoon Curb, which is harder in the dry, but he seems to manage it quite well. He got very unlucky the last couple of races. Let's see if he can redeem himself today.
Yeah, let's see what it can do for the 130 icon. Obviously, not the chance it used to be with that reprofiling, but approaching the final chicane cash triangle, it's so difficult on there. The curbs in the wet, it's so difficult to slide for you. Looking quite good through there. This looks a really good lap. I believe this lap will probably get us a new published benchmark, I believe. Crossline now, what can he do? He will go second. He's a couple of tenths behind Callum, so Callum on pole. And so yeah, good luck there by the McLaren man Callum, and Mertz in second. Yeah, Mertz not had the best couple of races so far. He's got good pace. He's got pace for podiums, but he hasn't really had chance to show it last couple of races. So hopefully tonight he can have a bit of a cleaner race, and we can see his true potential as Craggy is yet to set a lap in 17th, obviously doing that epic long stint last week, which got him a podium, which was quite impressive, making them hard last as long as he did last week.
I think if there's a driver that can make cars last or even Inters last for a long time, it's got to be this man. He was incredible. I mean, with a track like Hungary, it does help because you can hardly ever tell. I think we expect probably to see the same things from Craggy trying the audacious strategy, and that's why I nominated Driver of the Day last week, but it went to Colin in nominations, but Craggy was obviously a close second on that one, as Craggy at 1:37.5. He's currently fastest at the moment. Logan, I have to say, in other leagues, looks very good in the wet conditions, but he's one of the only drivers yet to set a lap, so we'll see what he can do through the second deck. Now flicks the car to the right, nicely done as well. You can ride the curves quite a lot in these F1 cars. Through towards turn 10. In the hairpin, one of the hairpins on this game, where you can take multiple lines, just like we saw in Zambor many moons ago. Alex crossed the line in P2. We've got more drivers yet to set lap times, and come across the line, we will see multiple drivers doing multiple laps on the same set of the intermediate tyres. It's meant to get dry in the next 5 minutes, according to my weather radar, so expect to see similar to what we saw in the other tiers, where it will get dry pretty quickly, but will it be enough for 6? We'll have to wait and see. Let's watch Logan then as he makes his way 130R. Flat out. You can take it flat out in the wet sometimes as well. I managed to. It was only a slight lift. Through the Castillo triangle, ride the curb once more. Does the Racing Bull driver. Goes to the shortest run to the line. What's it going to be for the American? He goes into P2, and that looks very solid to me. It looks very clean, actually, through that lap, yeah. So I was not surprised that he was able to hit that. Alex was going to do another lap. He is unfortunately in validated. Callum makes his way through towards 130, and he's purple sector 2, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely. This could be on for position. This could be our first 1 minute 36 lap after if he gets a good run through the final chicane. Looks really good across the final corner. What can he's coming in the pits. So I wonder if he's coming in the pits. I wonder if these guys have decided now it's time to pit. So maybe they decided it's going to be 6 at the end. So if you're going to commit to 6 at the end, you have to come in the pits with about 3 minutes to go. Any later than that, you're going to struggle to get back out again.
I think there was quite a few people that got quite lucky when they came in the pits earlier, but things happened. So we are going to see who's made of the right stuff. And if they're still out, well, they're probably going to have to come into the pits. Kevin slots himself into P4, going into the 1 minute 39. We've got one of the Hatters actually finishing off his run, though, but he's not. He's diving it in to the pits. What about Kevin's teammate of Senna? He goes into the pits too. I think multiple people are going to dive it in to the pits. What can Arnaud do? Arnaud is on his only lap on the inters. I don't know why he's out now. If I was him, I would dive it into the pits, my friend. But he's just going to have a bit of a warm-up. For some of these guys, this is practice for when the rain comes earlier. And since the weather is set for approximate, I had one session when I was practicing earlier with you where it didn't rain at all. But all the other sessions that we had, rain. So this could be the first lobby where we could see no rain at all. We saw that last season, I think, with P1. I think in one of the races where it didn't even rain at all, and the drivers, I think, well, the top drivers especially, got a bit annoyed and frustrated that they thought that we didn't stick to the weather, but we did. It's just the game being approximate. But let's watch a ball with Arnold, and understandably he goes into the pits. Curry, though, on an outlap on inters, I wouldn't have done that if I were him. I would have waited until about 2 minutes 30.
No, yeah, maybe he's going a bit early there, I think. Maybe you probably set the pole lap time if he gets it across the board, but he just fall down the order rapidly. Now the tracks were running in. As Kevin's still out on track. I'm not sure I see if Kevin pulling the pits and in this lap. If he doesn't run the pits now, he still have enough time to go out again on slicks, but we'll wait and see what he does. He's not on a quick lap. He should be coming the pits, and indeed he does. So the only guy out on track actually is in the pits. So also every single car is in the pit lane with 3 minutes to go. So this is going to be very this is going to be very interesting. You don't want to go out too early. If you go out too early, you're not going to get the best track win. But go on Aston Martin out of the pits, I believe. That is Dave.
Axelock?
No,
Oh no, it's Dave.
Dave's out. He's on inters, so he's going inters. So he doesn't feel like the track's going to dry up. And the track still looks quite damp, but I believe it stopped raining. So this is
no,
interesting.
it's still raining for me, my side. It's still raining for me.
So we may not get to the slicks. It may be
for the first time.
If it keeps like this. So we'll see the current tyre, see who's actually going out on which tyre. We've got a bit of an interesting one. Colin's going out on the inters. So we've seen a couple of inter guys go out. It's mainly inters, it seems like. These guys don't feel like it's going to dry up, unlike the other tiers.
Yeah, I think P4, it dried pretty quickly, didn't it? Well, it dried enough for it to go dry. P3, it took a while, but eventually dried. I actually was dried up the earliest out of all the tiers, I believe, because I thought I would go out early to avoid me getting messed up. But it turned out it didn't work in my favour. P2, I think it was similar to P4, I think. So P1, yeah. Oh, I think it stopped raining. It stopped raining. So
we've got a mixture of tyres. Got a few guys going out on slicks now. We've got Craggy out on slicks. We've got Morgan out on slicks. Mertz on slicks. Senna is. Does Casper, and I believe that's it.
Colin's going to be kicking himself.
So is Lakitu. Yeah, so we've got about half them out on slicks, half them out on inters. So this is interesting. Rabite, he's missed the cut. He's not going to make it. He's left it too late, I believe. He's coming up pit lane now, but that's far too late.
Yeah, that is way too late, unfortunately, for Robite. But for everybody else, it's going to be a soft versus inters war. Is it going to be enough for the soft tyres to reign supreme here in Suzuka? Let us know your thoughts in the chat on who you think is going to get pole position. And is it going to be on a soft tyre runner, or is it going to be medium tyre runners? We see quite a few people in the last session invalidate on their runs. Dave is going to be the first one to meet the conditions. And we saw it in my race. If you the one who's going to get pole position, ideally is going to be the one that has the best track conditions. If you're on the first to meet the conditions when it starts getting dry, like I was in my tier, then you're going to drop way down the orders. So I think Dave is going to be that one, unfortunately. He's purple set to 1, though. I don't think it's going to be purple set to 1 for much longer. We haven't seen DRS enabled yet, have we? So, and we saw it, I think in all 3 tiers we saw it at this point. So it's the first tier where we have not seen DRS enabled yet.
There's a massive traffic jam in the final corner. All these guys trying to get a lap in. A few of these guys back and get a lap in. I don't think Kevin will get his lap in. He's on the inters. He's going to have to go for it. There might be traffic, but you got to go for it. You got to get your lap in however you do. And look at this. We've got 4 or 5 cars following each other. So these guys are not going to get the best qualified lap in, but they've all crossed the line, which is crucial. So they're all going to get their laps on. So we'll keep a track, see how everybody does, see how Davey's about to finish the lap. I believe he's approaching the Castle Triangle now. He's purple. So this should put him in pole for the moment, but where will it leave him as the session progresses? So this should easily take pole, I believe. Look at the track's drying off. I believe it's right in between 6 inters, and Dave does take pole.
Kevin's binned it.
Yeah, Kevin binned it, so he's not going to qualify that well. So he's going to be near the back of the grid, I do believe.
Here comes Colin.
At the cross line, man. Yeah, what can he do? Can he?
He's got a damaged front wing.
All right, well, that's not ideal.
And he still gets
go
pole.
fastest.
Or is it a spectator? It looks like a spectator glitch to me.
Yeah, it looks all right to me.
GG game.
Looks all right to me.
1:35.3 for Axelot as he goes fastest. I'm just trying to pick up a soft runner, which is hard to tell. I'm just trying to see who's first. It would be Clark, but he goes into the pits. Lakitu. So Lakitu will be the first one. It looks pretty much dry now, to be honest. Excuse me. As Epic the Animal goes fastest, what can Lakitu do? Not enough. So it might be the sauce may not be the best, or he may just not be comfortable with that lap. Craggy goes up to the line. Can he get pole? Yes, he can. 1:33.8. Arnold goes second. And we got Morgan as well. He goes up to the line. Can he do to something to spoil the party and get the pole in P1 tier? No, he can't. Kevin, unfortunately, invalidated. Curry on inters. He's going to see what he can do. Not many people on the soft tyres were beating the intermediate runners. So your faster intermediate runner was Epic the Animal, and that was a good lap time from him. But your pole sitter is looking for redemption here in Suzuka after some screen freezes that he had. It is Craggy. Can he do one better than last week and take the victory? Well, it is possible. And Arnold, his best qualifying position of the season by far. He timed that to perfection, he did. But he lost it by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, obviously Arnold's one previous pole position, looking to get his second pole. Didn't quite do it there today, but yeah, Craggy on pole. Obviously, he's only our second pole set this season. Obviously, our dominant qualifying man, Kevin, is 14th on the grid. He invalidated his lap, and he was at the back of the queue basically. I think all them guys at the back there, they all got in each other's way. I believe they were so close together. They were all so desperate trying to get a lap in. They sort of left it too late leaving the garage, trying to be last man across the line, and it didn't really work for them. As Craggy was actually quite early in the queue, and he just got a clean lap on the board, and that's what got him pole position. So I think getting clean air was more important there than being the last man across the line.
Yeah, exactly. And Craggy did a brilliant job there by just 1.5 of a second, and well clear of the other soft runners. And it wasn't like the other tiers where the soft runners were clear of the rest of the field. It was a mixed bag, which is really great to see. We got Craggy from Arnold, Epic the Animal, Alex Mertz with a good qualifying for him, Callum, Morgan, Casper, Atslock, Senna, Colin, the key to Dave, Kevin, Clark, Robite, Marco, a shocker there, he invalidated, and Curry. So that was your qualifying then for today's Japanese Grand Prix. And of course, we have got engine penalties for quite a few of our drivers. I will have a look to see who has got some, because there are quite a few championship contenders. We have got, actually, no, it's not championship contenders. I was talking about P2. It was Matthew and Matt Clark. So Matt Clark, Morgan, and ERT Senna. So not the ones you expect to be up the front, but they are all taking their engine penalties, so they'll be starting at 10 places lower than their qualifying position. So pretty much all three of them will be near the back of the grid.
Yeah, Matthew will be at the back of the grid, Senna will be second back, and Morgan qualifying 7th will be 16th, so they're all at the back of the grid. Morgan with decent qualifying 7th, but will start 16th due to the engine penalty he received tonight. So getting that out of the way nicely. And so yeah, I did say the qualifying might offer a mix-up grid. I think we got it there with Kevin down in 14th and like Arnold on the front row. So we definitely did get a mix-up grid there. And it's good to see some other new drivers near the front of the grid. That's really nice to see. And yeah, Arnold did a great job in qualifying, as did Craggy in the front row, as well as Animal in 3rd. So yeah, unusual front of the grid, but it's good to see. It may offer a slightly different race to what we've seen recently.
Yeah. I always like the mixed up grid because it spices things up a little bit. We saw that in, I think, all the tiers actually, that quite a few drivers were out of position. They struggled a little bit. And usually if you're stuck in the middle in qualifying, you're probably going to struggle a bit in the race. But we've seen how things can change so quickly. Just because you have a moment in lap 1, it doesn't mean your race is over. We've seen plenty of drivers have horrific lap 1s in Japan tonight and still manage to go on and have a decent result and have a good comeback. So it's not over until it's over. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And Mike just put in the chat, hope this lobby doesn't glitch like P2 did. We hope not either, Mike. We hope it's all clean for that perspective, because we don't want to keep waffling on like we saw yourself and Max. So fair play, by the way, for keeping the stream going until the end. I know Mike was in doing double time, because obviously he was racing and then commentary, but there we go. And yes, that's a good point. And Mike also had a good terrible lap 1, and he recovered well too. So yes, who's been your biggest good surprise in that qualifying session, Jamie?
Go Arnold to front row of the grid. I didn't expect that. Obviously, got really good. They're only 10th half off pole. So yeah, Arnold's definitely my positive surprise tonight.
Yeah, I think Arnold's definitely the one where his luck has been quite unlucky in terms of where he wanted to climb up through the grid, because he is quick on his day. And Japan, like I was saying earlier, it's a very difficult track to overtake. So to get a good qualifying like that, very incredible. And hopefully he will use this as confidence, because there's been plenty of drivers in all the tiers that have had really bad luck recently, and the races tonight have just come alive for them, and they were able to just find a little bit of fire, which is always great. And hopefully we'll see that, of course, in P1. Of course, we like everyone to do well, but we can't do that. So we're going to have to do that. J-Con and Colin were cause of rivalries. J-Cole can't make it tonight because he's at DreamHack in Birmingham. Lucky him. I hope he's had a lovely time. He probably caught the F1 sim racing. But they were asked, how have you got on as teammates this season? Is there any competitive fire for you to beat each other? And do you think you can carry on your good form like you did in Hungary? And Colin just said, it's been great. We work together really well. We still obviously want to beat each other, but we also help the other driver get the best result. And J. Cole says, been great to be teammates with Colin. We've been miserable most weeks after the results, but a decent result popping up for the both of us has rained it. And one thing that J. Cole said, he said he hope he doesn't rain tomorrow now that he's missing out. So he wanted the rain when he was racing, not when he's not racing. So he's probably gutted about that. There's probably one driver that's not here tonight that probably would have loved the rain. And that was someone in the P2 tier, Mr. Larkin. So he was probably gutted about that. But there we go. J. Cole and Colin seem to get on well, and they do communicate well in a party, it seems.
Yeah, two very experienced racers. Obviously, J. Cole, a two-time former champion here, and Colin, a very experienced racer. A lot of good finishes in previous seasons. Not quite won a championship, but he's had a really good season. Yeah, they do work well together. Obviously, they're both probably not the quickest drivers in the tier, but what they do get good results by keeping it clean, not making mistakes. And they have been getting a lot of top 10s recently, and I think Colin said if he has a single figure in his race result, he thinks he's done well. And he had that last week, and obviously J. Cole's had a few races where he's been threatening the front, just off the front guys. So yeah, they're both working well together in that Sauber, and you may see one of them maybe get a podium towards the end of the season. If get a bit of luck, you never know. It may be a possibility, but yeah, they are working like a dream, them two, which is good to see. We see a lot of teammates in OneUp do communicate well during races, and it encourages them. I think it gives them motivation to keep going. Things are going a bit badly.
Yeah, we have plenty of great teammates this season across all tiers that work quite well together. I know, I think me and John tonight, JR Mason, I think worked better than we've ever done, because I think there were times where I talked too much previously, and because Japan's a really difficult circuit, there were times where we really had to shut up and only talk when the pit stops were coming, and the thoughts on deciding which strategy as well. So Japan could be a one where they may not talk as much, but only communicate when needed. So, but of course, there'll be some top drivers. Of course, I think I was speaking to one P4 driver earlier, where if they saw they see their teammate behind them, they would let them through. Personally, I think it's too early in the season to do that. But if you're gonna hold up your teammate, fair play to him. But if you're quicker than them, I don't see the point.
No, exactly. No, if you're quicker, you let them through, yeah, for sure. But if not, there's no point doing that. Obviously, last season I was basically number 2 driver to John, but there's one race at Imola where I was quicker than him, and we didn't let each other through, and actually gained extra place on penalties. So you've got to work race by race to figure out where's the right way to do it. But yeah, I think it's too early to commit to number 1, number 2 driver policy at the moment, because things change. There's still more than half the races to go, so there's still plenty of points to play for. So yeah, obviously, if you are holding your guy up, you're for sure let them free, but you shouldn't be committing to it pre-race, because that's the wrong mindset. And I believe you won't perform as well if you think yourself as a number 2 driver already.
Yeah, you don't want to be that at this stage, because there's plenty of times in my tier that there are times that John could be quicker than me. You know, I think without that front wing damage for John, he would have probably passed me tonight. So there are times where you could be number 1 driver, but then your teammate could be quicker. We'll have to wait and see. So there we go. So we are about to get underway. Colin has just been given the call to ready up. So we are about to get started for the final race of the evening. Hopefully no technical issues for this lobby, please, because otherwise I will cry. But we'll run through the driver's press conference. Kevin was called, and he had a bad qualifying session, and he was asked, were you expecting this great form with the most poles and the championship leader going into your debut season? How do you keep this form up? And Kevin said, I definitely did not expect to have the most poles so far this season, but I'm happy and I'll take it. And in terms of the championship, I'll just take it as it comes and not think about it so much. I think that's important. I know you're probably doing the same with your tier in P4. If you think about the championship too much early on, it is going to be, I think you're putting too much pressure on yourself. I made a mistake, I think, the season before this, two seasons before this one, where I thought about the championship too much and I lost 2 places because of it. Kevin is just taking every race as it comes and then everything else is a bonus, which I think is a great mindset to have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I'm doing, I'm just figuring out. I'll take each race as it goes. You know, if someone beats me, then fair enough, they've beaten me. But I just think you just got to just treat each race as its own separate thing, and then just see where it leaves you. Obviously, I believe we've got 2-3 races to go. You can look at the championship at the moment. It's too early to look at that. Obviously, we've got championships as it is, but still half ways to go. As I said earlier, there's plenty of points to play for. And you just got to maximise your results and just see. Obviously, it's nice when you're in a good position already, but there's still a lot of things can go wrong. So you just got to just focus on every single race. And yeah, Kevin has got a lot of work to do tonight, starting at the back of the grid. He's going to do well to get a podium tonight, starting from where he is.
He has started from low down before and got a good position, so anything can happen for Kevin. So we'll go through our sponsors then before we go through the main race action. Delta app. If you use the command !Delta in chat, you could track your journey to success with Delta by making your smarter decisions like the world's top investors, and you can track all your investments in one app. You need to be over 18 to do that, unfortunately. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description. Then we got Next Level Racing. These are the prizes that they could win this season, but more information to be confirmed on our socials very soon. Sim racing setups. I don't know why I've turned the background music down. I do apologise. Sim Racing Setups is our newest sponsor. They've been our sponsor for 2 years now. No, not two seasons now. And they've increased our discount because they've been so lovely to us. 10% off if you use the code OneHubRacing. You've got dry esports setups, wet setups, and there's also ERS strategies as well. And there's also prizes that they're giving out for driver of the day and driver of the season, and I've got 2 of them already. So have you, Jamie, I believe. So we are racking up in the vouchers, I have to say, to spend on their website. Pure Sim Gear, 10% off. You can use the code OHR10P to get sim racing gloves or socks or any merchandise from their website. And there's also the Speedster Award for them as well, which you can see here. Your partners for expertise supporting our merchandise and payment system and prizes and all that stuff. And finally, SimGrid. Without SimGrid, there'll be forms and spreadsheets to fill out, and it would give the admins, including Cam, an absolute nightmare. So that is our going through our sponsors. It's going to be a topsy-turvy grid, Jamie. It's going to be hard to tell who we think is going to do well, but what is your pick?
Oh, it's very difficult. I'll go Craggy for the win. I believe he's got the position. He's got a race pace to get this job done. So I think Craggy will pull this off. And I'm interested to see what the tyre strategy is going to be, because I think all 3 tyres are possible for racing tonight. I believe this is a rare track where you can use all 3 tyres in the race. And obviously when the rain comes as well, that's going to be key. So I'm expecting to see a real mix as we're about to get underway for the 3, 4 lights and 5 lights are out.
Here we go, 5 red lights. Here is Suzuka. A long hold, and we are underway. And Senna's got a drive-through penalty before we even begun. That's a nightmare for Senna. But look at Logan. Logan's got a really good start, but Craggy managing to get away well. But could have been better for him. Logan up into second. Arnell's dropped down 1 position into third. You can see one of the McLarens. Casper's had a very good start. He's already up into 5th place already. Mert trying to defend from him, but can't quite do it. And Mert's in a McLaren sandwich right now as Callum's trying to get through for 6th position. But so many dramas already happening in the first lap. Marco's made his way up into 12th place after horrific qualifying. Clark and Senna going side by side into take the one. Let's hope they don't make too much contact. They don't. All good there. But we see Colin. He's had a nightmare start. He's in the gravel. I think he's got front wing damage. And yeah, that is his race gone from worst to him at the moment. But I just saw epic start. He's had the best start of anyone. Up to second. Up 1 place.
On the soft tyre, he started on the soft, so he got a fantastic launch on soft tyre alongside Casper. So the two best starters were on the soft tyre, and Colin started on the hard. So he had a bad start because of that, I think. That's why he got the win down. So Logan's got a great run here on Craggy through the 130-yard corner. He's going to try and outbreak the Casper. I think he's got to get his move done on the soft tyres. He's got to try and get into the lead here. He's going to go up the inside. He's going to outbreak him. Craggy gives him enough space, and he's through into the lead. So Logan does take the lead, and Arnold almost got Craggy there. Craggy trying to cover there, but Logan will lead lap 1. Has Craig got anything to fight back? I don't think he has, but yeah, he has to get the move done on the soft tyres because he has to get clean air, because then tyres will go off a lot quicker than the mediums do. But you can give a good 4 or 5 laps on them as Senna gets another speed in pit lane, 10-second penalty for Senna's drive-through. So yeah, Senna is not having a great few laps after his 4th place last week.
But at least he's not giving up without a fight. I have to say, Senna did very well last week. Fair play to him, and we hoped his form could continue this week, but unfortunately, not every driver can have their race go their own way. It is part of the race, because don't forget the rain is still to come yet for all of our drivers. We know how the soft tyres can last. Well, I think we did see in one of the tiers where someone started on the softs and then went on a really weird strategy, but it kind of worked in a way, but they stayed out too long on the hard tyres, as we can see Casper almost trying to get the move done on Alex, went too deep into the corner, and that did not work at all for Casper. He's also on the soft tyres too, and he's trying to make his way up through the field, but obviously Logan having a much better start than Casper. To be fair though, they made the same positions as each other, so I think both of them have made equal starts. It's just Epic has qualified higher than Casper. We're going to see Casper though trying to potentially go for a move towards 130R, which it is doable, but you've got to be very, very patient. As you can see, his teammate trying to go for the move on Mert once more, but can't quite do it. DRS is activated then, so we'll start to see the ones who have got DRS really start to take advantage. We got Craggy trying to use the battery. I don't think he's going to get close enough on Logan. Nope, he's not close enough at all, but we did see people trying to go for the move in the S's as well, which was very brave. I think I remember seeing someone go for the move on you in the S's, which was quite an experience. I don't know how they did it, but they were very confident, and you've got to be confident, because otherwise what's the point in making the move? No major moves happen in the top 7 right now. They're all staying put. They're all experienced drivers. They know that they can't go for moves every lap just to save their tyres and ERS usage.
Yeah, someone's up the inside of me in turn 5. I just thought it's lap 5, not to fight too hard. I mean, a bit later on, I'd thought a bit more, but I think it's lap 5, let them go. And it worked out for me, because I managed to hook on the back of the DRS and managed to help me pull away from the car's head, so it actually worked out for me in a way. And obviously, it was the guy I was fighting for the race win, so that was good to see. So I mean, Logan on the he's trying to beat a DRS of Craggy, but not quite able to do it just yet. So we got Kevin's up 2 places in 9th. He's fighting Nikita for 9th place. So, but yeah, them softs, they're actually not too bad a race tie around. They can go around 6 laps, I believe. So watch out for it. So they're not like hungry where they're useless. So I'm surprised more guys didn't start the softs tonight, because we've got a McLaren trying to defend from the Williams, I believe. And yeah, Casper needs to get.
I think Mert is challenging both McLarens actually, and he's falling away from one McLaren, but one McLaren who's being challenged is Callum Unarmed, because Axelot is on a mission to gain a position. He is very keen to redeem himself after last week, after starting pole, but then got very unlucky in terms of pit stops and all that. But I don't think Axelot made that move stick there. Callum around the outside into the start of the S is nicely done. I don't think Axelot was able to see Callum coming. He just thought, you know what, there's no point fighting that. We're going to end up coming together. And again, that is very smart driving from both of our experienced drivers here at One Hub Racing, of course. As Senna's out of the race, understandably, he is retired in the pit lane, which is a bit of a shame. He can recover, but luckily we've got a break week next week, so 2 weeks just to settle down and focus on the next race, which I believe will be Bahrain.
Yeah, Axelot was kind of bit him at speed in turn 1, ran a little bit wide and light, and that did allow Callum to get fight back and keep his 7th place. But yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate for Axelot. Didn't quite make the mistake, but he's still in this lead battle, which is good to see, as Kevin and Nikita are getting very close for 9th place, as I believe Logan's tyres maybe dropping a bit as Craggy is starting to gain a little bit. So Logan's, I think, softs are now starting to feel a bit of pain at end of lap 4, and Craggy will be fancying maybe an opportunity to get through, if he get a good run through the Casio triangle into the last corner. What can he do? It looks like a decent run for him so far. He's within
Here,
3 attempts.
Kevin trying to go for the move. Kevin, sorry to cut you off. Kevin trying to go for the move on Lakitu. Of course, your drivers are fighting for the championship, but we got to fight for the lead. Craggy gets through on Logan. Nicely done. And we also got Marco, Kevin, Robite, and Dave all going at it. There's a lot of traffic involved here, but you don't have to be fast to really be ahead, because you could be a fast driver, but if you can't pass a slow driver, then the slow driver is probably doing very, very well as well. And you've got to be ahead, ideally, before your first pit stop.
Yeah.
We will, I think, expect to see, the first drivers come in a few laps' time, I would say.
Yeah, Mark in good progress, so up 4 places, and yeah, look, we've got the top 3 in championship fighting over 9th, 10th, 11th. This is very unusual to see, obviously, due to the mix-up quality. That's why they're a bit further back, and they're trying to make progress through the field. But yeah, Marco nipping through there, and Kevin, a good opportunity to move by the Williams man there, and he's looking to fight Lakitu. Obviously, he's looking to try and close the gap even further on Kevin.
Casper going around the outside of Mert, and they make a bit of contact, but no harm done, no damage it looks like as well. But I think Casper is going to get a good exit on Mert, and he's going to get some slipstream. Here he goes, through 130. Beautiful for Casper, absolutely beautiful, nicely done. And I think Callum was going to try and do the same thing there, but well done, Casper. I wish I got the off-board shot, but I got the on-board shot. I'm very impressed, and understandably, on those soft tyres, he comes in, he's done his job, and both soft runners actually come in to the pit lane. Obviously, we don't know what the weather's going to be, only the drivers know, but again, they're still screws as we are. So, we got Casper comes in, Logan goes on mediums. Now, that's interesting. Casper also goes on mediums as well. Do you think, unlike what we saw in the other tiers, do you think the rain may not come at all?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I had a practice race earlier where it didn't come, so maybe that could be a possibility. Obviously, these guys, I'm sure they'll keep spamming their engineer. They got to them, they'll be looking at that, see what it says. But yeah, maybe soft medium is a very interesting call, because you're not going to get to when the rain typically comes, I don't think. So yeah, maybe it's going to be dry. But we did see in the P40, we did see some guy do a 2-stop strategy in the dry, and he almost won the race, but the last lap was just a bit too wet for them.
He was crawling, bless him.
Yeah, that could be a factor here. So that could be a smart play for them to obviously sign the softs. They've got nice clear air, so they will be in the lead when these front guys do pit. And yeah, we've got different strategies, which is good to see. We'd like to see some different strategies in play, and that's what happens when all three tyres are good race tyres. You see a lot more divergent strategy, because normally it's just either soft, medium, hards normally, but it's good to see now the softs are usable around here. We start to see it a bit more than we do everywhere else.
That's why I like the adaptive weather system. I was unsure of it to begin with, but when we started using it, it's one of our favourite systems we have at One Hub Racing, because it allows those diverse strategies. It allows the soft tyres to be used a bit more. It allows people to stretch on those medium tyres just a little bit longer than expected, and it allows for different strategies in terms of people going short, people going long. It's just... it's something we'd like to do, and to be honest, I'm glad that the rain has finally decided to make an appearance. Of course, we are only allowed 4 per season. Obviously 4 qualifying sessions and 4 race sessions. We already had 1 each. Please, I pray to God, if it rains in Bahrain and Jeddah, I'm going to cry, because it's not destined to rain at any of those tracks. So let's just hope it does not happen. And I don't care if it rains everywhere else. We're on lap 7 of 27 at the moment, and we will see people stopping very soon. Mert's out of DRS range to Alex, actually, and that's going to allow Callum to take advantage here. Casper, by the way, is 2.4 seconds behind Logan. He is closing in a little bit, but we'll see how that undercut may come into fruition. We saw, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it must have been P2 before the lobby restart, or it might be P3 actually, where the overcut actually no, it was P4. It was P4. There was a few people pitted, and there was one driver that came out ahead. So it is doable for the overcut to work on this game, but it may be down to you may have a bad out lap, or there might be bad traffic on your lap. We'll have to wait and see. As we've got our first pitters from Mert, Callum, Robite, Morgan, Curry, they're all coming in. And that is a lap that you pitted as well, Jamie, so it is to be expected.
Yeah. Matt, yeah, we're our champion contender will pit lap before Marco, Kevin, and Lucky all go on the hard tyres. Still at the back of the field, it's very usual to see, but obviously they will jump up when these guys do pit. Yeah, the thing is, I think because the undercut isn't powerful, it's because the tyres are the hardest in the range. So the hard tyre is a C1 tyre, so it takes a while for it to get up the temperature. So I believe that may be a factor here. So we've got these guys pitting, and we've got Kevin's going to come up. He's going to be side by side with Robite coming out the pits, and he does stay ahead of him. But Callum's actually stayed ahead of Marco and Kevin, so that's worked out not too bad for Mert or Callum. They're still ahead of Marco and Kevin, so yeah, they are in good position here. And these guys will all fight and try and close up. But yeah, I do believe because it's the hardest tyres, that may mean why that it takes a bit longer for them to warm up. So I didn't find much of an undercut tonight, I'm not going to lie. The overcut seemed to work well for some guys, so...
Yeah, I find the same in our
These guys
team.
got to have to pit, though. They're going to have to pit, though, to cover them off. You can't leave it too much, because if you stay out too late, then you will get undercut eventually, so yeah. But Craggy, we know he's good on tyres. He's a bit of a tyre whisperer. I wonder if Craggy maybe fancying to extend here a little bit. We'll wait and see.
Well, we extended last week and it worked, so I think I won't be surprised if we extend a bit longer. Never mind, Jamie, he comes in. So does Arnold. Alex stays out. Axelot goes in. I think his teammate understandably stays out. Matt Clark comes in. Colin is going to stay out a bit longer because he's going to have to try and extend those hards for a little bit. Very bold to start on the hard tyres, but I'm liking that strategy. For Colin, I'm liking people going bold strategies, as I was saying, and I'm looking at my weather radar. It's going to be overcast in about 5 minutes time. No sign of the rain yet, so I think we're just going to be playing guessing games to the end of time, as the undercut has worked out massively for Casper, but Arnold's got ahead of Craggy in the pit stops.
Yeah, Arnold is he's the lead hard running as well, so that's worked out really well. These guys staying a bit longer, it's worked out a treat for these guys, and still ahead of like some Mert and Callum and Marco. There is really no undercut tonight, it really isn't a factor. And I wonder if the lower track temperatures, the overcast and cloud also plays a factor in that as well, because obviously it will take even longer for tyres to warm up as Arnold is trying to get in the DRS of Casper. He's just out of it at the moment, but say Logan's got a nice net lead at the moment of about 2 seconds to Casper. So Logan, when these front three do eventually pit, he will be leading the race. So that'd be interesting to see if he can get the memes to last to a good pit window for presumably a going set hard to try and get to the end if it doesn't rain.
Yeah, I think that's what most of our tier did as well, stayed out on the hard tyres until it rained. Of course, we had an early safety car, and there were some people that pitted again for another set of hards, and they still made it work as well. So we got Alex that comes in, Dave comes in, and I think that's the last of our medium runners that have come in into the pit lane, and they're understandably going to go on to a set of hards. I wonder if Dave could go on to a set of softs. Colin obviously will stay out, yeah. He has to.
Yeah, Alex was on board. Alex coming to pit says Dave goes and set a soft there, so he's going for a very short, quick stint. I was on board with Alex there, and he very nearly hit the pit wall entry. He was really tight exit, so really aggressive in the pit lane. And look, he's still ahead of Marco and Kevin and Lakita. These championship leaders, they're not having it their own way tonight. They are stuck in a bit of a DRS trend, and they're a bit behind everybody else, and they're not making the progress I expect them to. I think they're just stuck in a train, and they're making it it's going to be very difficult for these guys to overtake being in the DRS train.
The only overtaking spot is, I think, a few places. One, possibly the Casio Triangle, but it's really hard. Next will be the hairpin. We've seen people make their way through the hairpin because you can take different lines. And then obviously turn up number one. Turn number one is probably the easiest way you can make the move. But we have seen moves elsewhere around the circuit. But those, I think, are the moves where people have to potentially try and go for one. So as it stands, Craggy has dropped down into 5th place. Yes, he's on the hards, but we'll see if he could extend a little bit. But Epic the Animal is your net race leader with Casper in P2. What a race for him so far. He's made that soft strategy work. Arnold in 3rd, Craggy 4th, Alex 5th, and Callum Unarmed in 6th. And then we've got Mert, Marco, and Kevin rounding up your top 8 and 9 positions on the grid. As we're seeing Kevin actually almost trying to go for a move there, but he didn't quite make it stick. And Colin comes into the pit lane as Dave's got a penalty, and we'll see where Colin will come out now. He goes on to another set of hards, which should take him potentially to the rain period.
Side by side.
Craggy going side by side.
Arnaud holds it off just, but Craggy's on the warpath here. I believe Craggy will be looking to get the move done. He almost had done there, but Arnaud did defend well. You know, Arnaud just got really good racecraft, and this is allowing Alex to catch up. So Alex is in this fight, and Alex having a bad few races. This could be a good opportunity to get some momentum back after a few difficult rounds in the past few races. As actually Logan actually caught Colin before pitting, and he lost about half a second in the final sector because he was behind Colin and couldn't overtake. So Logan lost a bit of time there. That's allowed Casper to close up to within 1.5 seconds of the race lead there. So that was not ideal, but he did get DRS on the pit straight, which helped him probably gain some of that time. He did lose up behind Colin.
Yep. I think there's quite a lot of instances where traffic can hinder a driver and allow people to close up. There are similar tracks where things can happen. I think I commentated on a motorcycle track for a radicals race, and just because there was loads of people stuck in traffic, that allowed everyone behind them just to close up a little bit. We're seeing exactly the same here. So we've got Craggy, who's looking very racy right now on the back of Arnaud. So we are making our way through in towards Castle Triangle once again. And I think this is going to be Craggy's chance. He has to go for the move here. He has to. He makes his way through in towards T1, sweeps his way through, and yes, he's got the job done. So Craggy through on Arnaud, and he's up into third, and he is showing why he is a P1 champion. Of course, he won, I believe, the championship in season 26, and well deserving from him. And he has got plenty of wins still to come. He just missed out on the win last week, but could he get the win this week? It's looking like he's the favourite at the moment, but his next target now is the prancing horse of Casper Klein.
Yeah, he's looking in a great position there. He's doing DRS in the McLaren head already, so yeah, he's really flying. And yeah, the 6 laps medium, this is when the mediums start to go off a little bit. So yeah, his mediums are past the best now. So yeah, Casper will be struggling, and they'll be looking to maybe find a pit stop pretty soon. But you want to pit too early because you don't leave those too exposed. So yeah, Casper's got to try and manage his tide a little bit to get to a decent pit window. But yeah, Craggy, he's going to try and get by quickly because he wants to close the gap on Epic Animal Head, who has got a bit more pace than Casper. He's got half a second quicker this lap. So yeah, Epic Animal's had a really good race so far. I mean, he looks really commanding in that lead, but if Craggy gets moved done quickly, you think got it done this lap, then you can really start to close down on the RB ahead. Then you get a decent exit here. Can you get it done? He's a bit too far back, but he has a good exit there. Look at the overspeed he has there. That was an easy move there. Casper didn't really have much fight there. He's through, and that was very easy. He's got Arnaud. Alex goes side by side in turn 1, and Alex gets moved on, and he's up to 4th place, and he's going to try and follow Craggy through the field.
Yeah, we're going to see then. The ones on the hards, they're going to have to take advantage of this because Casper's on 7-lap old tyres, and we know at this point, because we experience it in our races, that the mediums are an absolute nightmare when it gets to this point. So if I were them, you got to defend for your life, Casper, and see if you can try and keep these guys behind you. We've seen it in the other tiers where we see people on older tyres really try to defend, and and it definitely worked for them. So we got to see someone gone off. That is Mert. Mert's had a moment in P11, P12. I'm just trying to go on board with it. He went on the gravel, but it doesn't look like he's got damage though, so he's got very lucky, but he's going to have to cool down his tyres a little bit because otherwise he gets thrown into a little bit of a spin there. We can see the gap up front is closing between Craggy and Epic the Animal, so it's going to be a question of when rather than if that Craggy's going to get the move, but Logan's going to defend for his life, which can't be possible, so it's going to be an interesting race. Still no sign of the rain though, because in all the other tiers we have seen the rain come in about 4 or 5 laps coming up. In this tier we haven't seen any signs of rain.
No, clouds getting darker though, so wait and see, but yeah, not yet. So obviously if did some guys, with the way some of these guys are pitted, I believe it's going to be a situation where it may not come, because some of these guys pitted super early on these tyres, and you don't need these too exposed at the end, so we will wait and see. But yeah, as I believe Marco's getting middle and Callum in 7th place, so Marco's making his progress through the field, and Marco will be looking to try and rejoin this lead battle with Kevin not far behind, so the front runners are now starting to show their force a little bit. Yeah, they're starting to. They've been a quiet first half of the race, but now the DRS train's fragmented a little bit. They can now progress through the field.
We are approaching a half race distance as well, and if you haven't already, make sure you give us a follow at One Hub Racing on socials. We are on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. So make sure you check our socials out. And if you're on Twitch, give us a follow. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon if you're new, so you can keep us up to date on when our next stream was. Of course, Realistic has just ended, and the driver sitting in P10 is your very first Realistic champion. So well done to him, but he's now chasing down Roadbike for ninth place. But our next stream after this won't be until not this Friday, but next Friday. We're taking a week off for break week, so we got no stream next, well, this coming week. So because the stewards will be taking a well-deserved break after they looked at the reports for Japan. And there's going to be quite a few reports for some of the tiers, as Kevin is going to be right on the back of Callum Unarmed. As we see, I'm just looking at the battery actually. He's used quite a lot of battery, Kevin, so he's got a lot of work to do to try and save it. We started to see a pattern with our racing on where we would use DRS. Look at this! Oh no! The contact there made, and it's almost an unsafe rejoin. Oh god, that was close.
Anna's had to back off there, I believe, there, because Anna's about to win the back of the house there, but he's back off there. It was Casper. Alex again blows a bit on turn one there. Yeah, Alex did rejoin. Didn't do too much because of those. He got quite lucky there, really. He could have been a lot worse. He's got a yellow flag in sector one. That is, I believe, no one. I didn't see any spins there.
A phantom yellow flag. We got that. We had that in P4 where we saw a yellow flag and we were like, oh, what's going on? And there was no yellow flag. So it was a phantom yellow flag, people.
Craggy is getting very close to that DRS range of Logan, who them tyres 9-lap odd means they're feeling very second now. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in the pits soon. If that was him, I'd pit this lap because he's going to get overtaken pretty soon, and once you get overtaken you just lose a bucket load of time. So if I was Logan, I'd be tempted just to preempt this overtake and pit now, but wait and see what he does.
Yep, Logan's got quite a bit to do, you never know, but we've seen in the lower divisions where if you pit for a second stop, you could be potentially faster. I think we see that with Ride Dog and Welsh Benjamin in our tier. Logan may be on for a good strategy here. So Logan comes in and he's probably read your mind, Jamie. He comes in. Meanwhile, we got one of the hazards of Alex goes in and passes Casper on fresh rubber. Casper's tyres are struggling. And where does Epic go on? He's on mediums, yeah. Medium tyres for Epic.
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, he started on soft, didn't he? Yeah, he started on soft. Completely forgot about that.
Medium, yes. So he got 12 laps to the end, so he's going to go for a fast stint here, maybe try and get some traffic. He'll be open. The rain comes late on, I believe, with that strategy. So he won't want the rain to come too early. So I presume by that pit stop, then the rain might come at the end, but not till like 2-3 laps to go. So that's what I'm guessing with that pit stop. But we'll wait and see as Alex is caught the Craggies. Alex at the moment has got really good pace. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, a difficult few races for him, but he's now with some of his rivals struggling a bit in qualifying. He's really starting to show some great form here, and he is looking to maybe try and get moved on a Craggy for the race lead. As Marco is starting to slowly gain a bit now. The problem for Marco is the four cars had all dearest in each other. When you got cars head dearest to each other, it's so difficult to catch. As actually Callum, he's maybe looking to try and read past the Williams here. As this, we've got two DRS trains at the front here. So yeah, obviously only one DRS zone, but we're still seeing DRS trains because it's good. Yeah, Alex, a bit of a difficult exit there. That's not going to help him try and get moved on in turn one, but he's still got great overspeed here. He can go for the outsider. He may still get it done even despite that difficult last corner. He is through, and Davis crashed. Might be a safety car.
VSC.
It's a yellow flag. VSC. Oh, there's a banging wheels there between Craggy and Alex there. They've banned wheels there. Alex is through. Wonder what the Delta's going to play that. Will Alex keep that position? It looks like he's going to. But the banned wheels there for sure coming out of turn two.
Yeah, I did not see where Dave... So where did Dave lose it? Because my telemetry is covering on the map, so it was hard to see.
I'm not sure, but his car's disappeared, so...
All right, okay.
I'll go into his... I'll see... It was in Sector 3, so maybe 130R exit, maybe. Maybe he binned it 130R exit.
Maybe he tried to go for a moving 130R and it didn't work.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think big crashes there in the past, more on the old configuration, but still see it in this configuration. Remember Jaime Agasari?
Oh yes, I remember.
In 2000, 2009, and obviously Alan McNish had one in 2002
Oh,
on
what's
the old
happened there?
configuration.
We're seeing side by side from Alex and Craggy there, as Craggy's trying to get
Yeah.
every advantage they can. I mean, the safety car could be ending soon. Maybe not. I hope
Make
we
sure
don't
you
get the same bug as
'cause-
P2.
yeah,
Please don't.
and so trying to preempt the restart, obviously, so trying to preempt it.
It's ending. VSC's ending.
Yep.
So here we go. So they're going to go side by side, and they can't overtake yet until we go green flag racing. Green flag goes our drivers, and now it's nicely timed from both of them, to be fair. That's allowed Casper to call up. Casper had a good VSC period there, so he's now within DRS range of the pair of them. So Casper will definitely take that as, by the way, light rain, according to the weather forecast. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, Marco pitted on the VSC. He's down in 16th, so Marco's pitted. So is Callum. So a lot of these guys are pitting for a second set of slick tyres, which means signals that he's not going to be wet enough for. It's not going to rain early enough. It's going to rain quite late on. So are we going to see this race where there's going to be no wet running again for top tier, which may make these drivers a bit unhappy.
Quite common, actually. Yeah. But at least with the weather scenarios, it still counts, even though it doesn't rain. It still counts towards like the quota that we're allowed per season. So
Craggy very wide. So Craggy was very wide at the curbs of Degner one. Very got to hit the gravel there. I thought he was off there, but he managed to keep it going. He surely got a track extension penalty warning there. But yeah, very lucky not to lose it there. Craggy's looking a bit ragged, I have to say, behind Alex.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He is, I think the dirty air may not be helping him a little bit, but surely it can't be that the hard tyres are struggling at this point, because at this point for me, it was absolutely fine until it got up to the rain period. So Casper
at the moment, at the spoon curb there, he went a bit wide at the spoon curb there. They're all struggling. I'm not surprised 12 have pulled mediums.
Casper's almost at puncher territory, Jamie. He's on about 66% in the rears.
Really.
Yeah, he should pit this lap because I don't think it says rain in 15 minutes according to the my telemetry, so I don't think it's going to be enough to have it rain to the end. So if I was him, I would pit. But no, he's staying out. Casper's in. Casper stays out. Sorry, Craggy is in. So that is going to be interesting. We thought Craggy was going to extend like he did in the Hungarian Grand Prix, but he does not. He wants to get those two stops out of the way. And medium tyres he goes. Those could get to the end with drivers in this tier because they're much better at tyre wear than the both of us, it seems. So through goes Craggy. And where does he come out in relation to Marco then? So I think Marco's just behind. I wanted to try and change camera angles, but it won't let me.
He's quite a bit behind, actually. He's about 2 seconds behind. He's got Colin between, so there's 2 seconds
Yeah, he's good.
between.
He's good. I know Colin is going to try and extend it. He's going to be brave and try and extend it, because he did it in our practice session earlier on. We know what he's capable of, so we'll see what we could do. We are almost at the final stage of this race now, with Alex leading, Casper second, Arnar third, Kevin fourth, who's got a DRS drain behind him of Robai, Atzelot, the Kitu, and Mert. And Atzelot, I have to say, is having another decent race. He's showing that, yes, he may not have the pace for the front guys, but if everyone else makes a mistake, he could be up there.
Yeah, definitely. He's right with Kevin as well, and Rollback and the Keels. He's with the front guys here, so he's showing really good pace here, but obviously he's still got another lap to do, whereas Kevin as well. Obviously, Kevin did look out for a safety car in Australia. I wonder if that may happen again. He's going to pit this lap, or he's going to extend, and maybe he thinks the rain's going to come a bit earlier. Wait and see. Yeah, he stays out, so we've got divergent opinion here. Casper is 14 lap old mediums. That's really impressive. The pace, despite what we thought lap on mediums, is quite good. As Mert gets a speeding penalty, that's going to cost him a lot at the end there. As Logan does set a fast lap here. Logan is our leader of the guys already done 2 stops, but when's this rain going to come? Will it come? We'll wait and see. But yeah, this is very intriguing. This is going to be exciting last 8 laps for sure.
Yeah, I think the last 8 laps is going to be, very exciting. So hold on to your popcorn. And we've had some great races in the One Hub Racing. And this is going to, end in style before we go on our break week. And a lot of us in the UK and Europe, to be fair, have got the Easter weekend coming up. I'm off to Cardiff this coming up weekend as well, so I wouldn't be at my computer anyway. So let us know your plans in the chat. I hope you're all up to everything nice, and so it'll be nice for me to take a little bit of a break from the F1 game, because I think I try to avoid the F1 game as much as I can during break week, apart from this week because I've got my new monitor to install, so I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. But we are going to see, I think, people come in soon if they think the rain's not going to come. Rain in 10 minutes, Jamie. Rain in 10 minutes. Now that's going to spice things up, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got 7 laps to go as Alex in the pits and surely Casper will pit. No, he stays out as Arnaud has a big slide there, but surely Arnaud, this should be an easy pass in turn 1. 12 apples hard, 15 apple with him, jet, easy move there into turn 1. Arnaud is back in the lead, obviously get to pit, and yeah, 10 laps to rain. Obviously, with 7 laps to go, we've got about, I'd say about...
It's going to rain right at the end, isn't it?
12, 13 minutes of race time. So yeah, it's going to rain at the end. But the thing is, will it be wet enough for Inters? Because in our race, it started raining, but it was another good 3 or 4 laps, so it's good enough for Inters. A lot of guys did pit very early, I noticed in our tier, and it didn't work out for them. So
whereas in our tier, it was 1 lap and it was Inters.
Yeah, which is the beauty of the approximate system, because it is not the same across all the tiers, and even your practice sessions, so you don't know. Because if it was on realistic, if it was on the other option, perfect, then you know what to pick from the lower tier.
Yeah, and it'll be boring. That's why we like it on approximate. So yeah, it's interesting that yours took ages to go to Inters, whereas ours just was instant. And yeah, I think it helped that I had the telemetry on, so I was keeping an eye on the tyre delta just as we were, the track was getting damp.
I believe Morgan's let Craggy through there. It was team orders, I'm sure.
Team orders. Morgan's trying to stretch those tyres, which I think fair play to him. I think one thing I'm noticing for all the drivers is the front right tyres could overheat quite a bit here, so they got to be careful with that with the last few laps, because otherwise that could be into puncture territory. And speaking of puncture territory, he's on 82% right now, and I'm surprised his car hasn't punctured yet, which shows that he's a good tyre whisperer. As Axelot comes into the pits.
Go softs. I assume Axelot will go softs here with 6 laps to go. I'm assuming he'll put a set of softs on here. Wait and see what he does. Yeah,
soft
set
tyres.
Of softs, no surprise by that. Yep. If you're pitting now, it's not in as you go in softs for sure. As Alex is overtaking Craggy for 6, going side by side. A bit of banging wheels there, and Alex is through, but Craggy, has he got damage? No, he's all right there. Yes, there was banging wheels again. So these guys, they're getting a bit feisty. They're Ferrari the arse, and Alex is through now, and Alex on fresh mediums. He's going to try and close down the 6-second gap to Animal, who is in our net race lead of the 2 stoppers. So yeah, can he close that gap down as Kevin's pitted, and he's all the way down in 12th, so he's got a lot of work to do to try and get back up. He's on the back of Colin here. This should be quite an easy move for him. I wonder if Kevin may fancy sending it inside the hairpin. I believe he's looking at it going, he's going to go around outside. Colin's not really fighting it. Colin knows it's not. There were banging wheels there, so he was fighting it. It looked like it's going to let him through there, but it didn't, and that's going to allow
Look at Mert.
Yeah, Mert's around the outside of Colin there. He's up to 11th place. Kevin off the track there. That wasn't the best run for him there. And I thought Colin was going to fight, but he has fought it there. And Kevin's lost out big time there. And Kevin's had a bit of a difficult race so far. Now he's going to get through with the better traction, and he is up into 12th place. Axelot not far behind on soft tyres, so Axelot maybe fancy running at Kevin here if he can get by Colin.
Yeah, I mean, there's some very brave moves made at the closing stages of this race, and there's certain drivers that haven't pitted yet, and there's certain drivers that are hoping for the rain to come.
Colin will be in surely for softs, yep.
Yeah, Colin's going in for softs, and they're going to try and go for the fastest lap point as well, which I've got my first fastest lap point in ages, to be fair, earlier, which I was quite chuffed about, as we're about to start lap 20, well, we're on the middle of lap 23. Arnold still leads on track as Curry's out of the race. He's retired in the pit lane, it looks like, so no safety car.
Yep, and I believe it's too late for safety car anyway, so I believe we passed that threshold now, so if any are crashed out now, it won't be a safety car. Now, what are these front 4 going to do? They're going to have to pit.
I would box at some point. The rain's not going to come soon enough. And here comes the key
two around the outside of Casper, and them tyres must be like bricks at the moment there. You've got Logan, not far behind these guys, actually. Logan's going to pass these guys already, so these guys are going to fall.
if I was on the 70s, 80s right now.
Yeah, I don't know how he's keeping on track, because that car must feel an absolute boat at the moment. Here's Lakitu. He's going to give it his all,
bless him. Here comes Logan.
Yep.
He's going to try him on 130R. No, he's not going to go
He's
for it there.
Yeah, he's got to be biding his time here, Logan. He's in a great position here as Nikita
Oh,
has
God.
there's a big slide there for the McLaren, and he's staying out again. And I won't move behind his McLaren because he could spin off any time.
Let me just see.
Get through.
Has Casper got a puncher? No, he doesn't. But he's almost close to a puncher. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and I don't think this rain's going to come. If I was him, I'd pit this next lap. You pit next lap. You pit lap 25. You can still set a fastest lap. So if I was these guys, I'd pit lap 25.
Kevin just said the fastest lap as we just said that on mediums. Yeah. But I think Axelot's going to try and respond to that. So we'll see what Axelot could do. Oh no, he missed out by 6/100ths of a second. He did. As we're seeing Alex getting past a wounded Casper. Oh, I think he's got a puncher. Yes, he has. Rear right. Rear left.
Yeah, and it's the worst one to have a rear puncher because that's where all the power goes through. So he's going to really struggle to get back to the pit lane. He's going to have to go really slow now to get that back. And
that's a gamble that he made.
Ferrari and Morgan behind. He's got to be careful. The fast guys behind as Kevin does get through. These guys behind have got to be careful that get through. And yeah, that was never going to work for Casper. Obviously out the race now. He can still get a fast lap, of course, but yeah, that's any hope of a points finish gone for the McLaren man. Unfortunate there for him. But that's what happens in racing. If you take these gambles, hoping for a bit of rain, and it doesn't come, then that's what may happen. As these guys are going to pit the penultimate lap, aren't they? As Moorbike comes in for a set of softs, I presume. So yeah, but even if it does rain now, it's not going to be wet enough.
It's not going to be wet enough for Inters. Yes, they're going to have to come in. It was like that during our first practice session where I was like that, wasn't it? But I think if they had a safety car, it would have been rain, 100%. But
yeah,
because
definitely,
there's no. Yeah, 5 minutes till rain. Yeah, it's gonna rain, but it's not gonna be enough for Inters. So I don't know why the top three haven't come in yet. They're just asking. Not Epic, obviously, because he's done 2 stops. But now the Lakita haven't come in. Casper gonna go for fastest lap. He's got a 10-second penalty. Morgan's coming in for fastest lap as well. As Colin has got a 1:28.8, so he's the fastest lap as it stands.
Yeah, so they expect to see fast lap drop committed. But this is the last chance for these guys to pit for fast lap points. So if they want a fast lap point, they have to pit this lap. If not, then they're on my lap. So see as the moment as Logan is looking really, he just has to keep it on track really. He should be on for a race win. But Alex not far behind, so he's got to be careful because Alex on a lot fresh in medium. So Logan is going to have to, I believe it may come down to last lap battle. I believe maybe a last lap battle between these two for the race win. As Kevin, looking like Kevin for the first time this season, is not going to finish on the podium. So his 100% podium streak looks like it's going to end tonight unless something dramatic happens. Anna does pit, surely for a set of softs, and he'll be going for a fast lap attempt to try and recover. Bit unfortunate. He was trying to hope for the rain, but it never came. And Lakita gets 10-second penalty. And that's going to hurt him even more than championship. So he's going to fall even further back on the likes of Marco and Kevin. So that's unfortunate. Kevin does set a fast lap at 28.8. So that's the benchmark for these guys to set. There's Logan
inside the top 10 now. So Colin I still believe has the fast lap outside the top 10. There's 2 points, don't forget. So I believe if I get the stops, hold on a second. Everyone I believe has done their 2 stops. Yes. So everyone has done 2 stops. Yeah, we could go home. Happy days. Oh well, not really. We still got 1.5 laps to go, but. The battle for the win is between the Racing Bull and the Haas. Who would have thought we would have said that in 2026? But Alex is looking very racy. Alex is looking on course to be taking his 2nd win of the season, his first since round 2, I believe. I think he won in Austria. Yeah, he won in Austria. He won in Austria. So he's looking for his good luck to really come into fruition here. And but it's raining. But it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough.
No.
But, that's boring. That's boring that it's raining and the drivers are not going to go on Inters. I think most people are relieved that it's not going to be into conditions. Yeah, it's the last lap. There's no point pitting. But I think everyone's relieved that they don't have to endure the conditions of the other tiers.
Logan. Look how much Alex closed on Logan here. But Logan gets a really good exit through there. Logan, Alex can have a run here for 4 tenths back, 3 tenths back, 2 tenths back. He's going for the inside. He's going to get moved and Logan just defend. Logan, Alex on the outside. Alex in the lead. he takes lead there. Logan couldn't fight it, and Alex is going to take lead the last lap. The heartbreak for the RB man, and Alex, surely if he keeps on track, will take the race win. But with a bit of damp track, then it's not for certain he's going to take the win here. But that was a great move there by Alex. He had a really good run for the final sector, and that made that move possible because. Logan tried to defend, but he had nothing to fight with there on 11 lap old medium. So, yeah, Alex looks set to take his second race win of the season. And Logan's going to get his first podium, so still a good result for him, but he'd be gutted, won't he, losing the lead on the last lap.
To be fair, it's a catch-22. He probably would have lost positions anyway if he pitted the same lap as Alex. So
he's losing a lot of grip now. So he probably, even if he defended in turn one, I believe Alex may have done a send in the Castrol anyway. So yeah, look at the tyres are gone.
Conditions now. Typical. It's intermediate conditions, and we're not going to get any more racing laps. Typical Jamie, typical. But we have got Alex, who's had rotten luck over the last couple of races. His bad luck is going to come undone. Through the Cassia triangle, he goes. Someone else got a time penalty. That's Arnold, but we're going to ignore about that. Alex exits the final couple of corners, and he is your final race winner of the night. He wins in P1. He celebrates in style. Logan gets his first podium of the season, and Craggy gets his second podium of the season in third, and Marco will close up to Kevin in the championship. Great race from him. Callum and Arnold in fifth. To be fair, though, Kevin, good recovery in sixth. Atzog 7th, Robite 8, Arnold 9th, and Mert will be your top 10. And I believe it's going to be the fight for the point. Fastest lap point now coming up. And Morgan is going to get...
It's too wet, I think.
Yeah, it's too wet. So Morgan is going to get another point in P1, which is good considering he got promoted from P2 tier last season. So good job, Morgan. Brilliant job. I will see if I can get the fastest lap point for you. So fastest lap point inside the top 10 belongs to Kevin. Fastest lap outside the top 10 belongs to Colin.
Look at that, there's 1,000 between them. Kevin did an 881, Colin did an 882, look at that. We've got 29.9, 29.9, 29.9, so very close to that fast lap point outside top 10, but Colin does get it. And that's a vital point for Kevin. It means his point loss to Marco is 3 points rather than 4, so that is a crucial point at the end there.
Lakita's retired. I can't remember where he ended up, Lakito.
He was 11th, I believe. He was 11th place, so he will get that 11th place in the results because he did cost the line way before the, way after he cost. That's what happens. You leave a session, I believe, early, and it just puts down the retirement.
Just bugs the lobby up.
Yeah, so
really.
he will get credit 11th place for sure.
Casper's trying to retire, it looks like. Or he's just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, unfortunate for Casper. He's looking good early on, but that puncture really cost him any chance of the points. And
chance of fastest lap as well, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, she's going for a full drift mode there, and she's going to cross the line in reverse, I believe, for
here he goes.
15th place.
He's hoping we catch that on stream as well. But we did, Casper. We did. But what an ending to the P1 tier. And what an ending to all the tiers, actually. Every single race delivered. And well done to all the winners. Of course, we had we had different race winners in quite a lot. We had a different race winner in P3. And in P2, I'm trying to remember who won that one, but we had a different race winner in there as well. But technically, they won a race this season. So, but technically, still a different race winner in P2. So we've got two new race winners and 2 repeat winners tonight, which is a nice equal figure. But let's go through your results then before we pick our sim racing setups driver of the day. At least we don't have to rush this one like I did with P4. So Alex P1, Ebbie the Animal P2, Craggy P3, Marco P4, Calaman P5, Kevin P6, Atslot P7, Robite P8, Arnold P9, Mert P10. It'll be Lakitu 11th, Morgan 12th, Colin in 13th, Clark in 13th, sorry, Colin in 14th plus the fastest lap point. And then we got Casper in 15th and Curry 16th. And your retirements are, as well as Curry, Dave and Senna. Senna retired early on, I believe. So, sim racing setups drive of the day. Jamie, I will let you go first.
I'm going with Epic Animal second place, his first ever podium in one of racing. Obviously, you had a really good race, went quite aggressive on the strategy, got really good under the cuts. I was saying well done, mate. First ever podium on the racing. Are you disappointed not to win? I don't know the last 2 laps where your tyres gone, because it looked like from our point of view they were.
Good question. And I'm going to go for our race winner of Alex, because he's had bad luck for the last few races, and it's definitely come to fruition, and he picked he timed the strategy very well. So my question goes to, well done on another race victory. Was it a redemption story for you today? And how would you see the rest of the season going for you? So that is my question to Alex. You can vote for them on the poll. And of course, I think Alex got a Drive of the Day nomination. I think he got a Drive of the Day, I think, earlier on in the season. So we could get a second Drive of the Day nomination. Quite a few people on too now. So they could be in the running for Driver of the Season. But let's go for our sponsors before we get final words from Jamie. Actually, no, I'll quickly run through them because I went through it in a lot of detail earlier on. So a big shout out to our title sponsor, Delta.app. Use the command !Delta for more information, as well as our other sponsors, Next Level Racing, Sim Racing Setups, Pure Sim Gear, as well as our partners, Vespertine, SimGrid, and our charity Mental Health Foundation. And make sure you follow One Hub on all of our socials: Twitch, Discord, Twitter, also known as X, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Jamie, any final thoughts? Because we got no race next week because we're all going to be on our Easter break. But we head to the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. What can we expect from our drivers heading into Bahrain in a couple of weeks?
Well, it's a very different type of track because obviously Bahrain, it's very much more stop-start circuit. And a circuit which offers up good racing, obviously lots of overtake opportunities, and it's a track which is a bit of a tyre killer as well. So that'd be really good to see. And obviously, well, we don't very much in the desert, but if it rains in the desert, well, never know that may happen. But I think that result today really does. It means the championship a bit closer, and it shows that, you know, Kevin and Marco are beatable on the day. You know, for a bit of weather and qualifying, a bit of uncertainty qualifying, and they are beatable. So yeah, it's good to see more competitiveness in the tier. And yeah, I believe the podium all drove well today. And shout out to Alex and the racer, and obviously Matt, and obviously yeah, I believe Adam Wolf is first for the podium. So that's really good to see. And enjoy the break week, everybody, and we'll see you all on the 10th of April for the Bahrain weekend.
Yep, as Jamie said, have a good one, enjoy it, and well done to our winners tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks to all our commentators as well, and thank you to the management for all the work you do week in, week out. But for now, the night belongs to Alex in the P1 tier. For myself and Jamie, we will see you in just under 2 weeks' time for the P1 tier as they go through Bahrain. But our next stream will be inside the stewards room, not this coming week because we're on a break week, but it will be, I'm trying to think, the 10th of April for Inside the Stewards Room. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.